Welcome to Dean Brennan's press conference ahead of our National League fixture against Wrexham on Saturday. I'm delighted to be joined by Dan Bennett of West London Sport and Jacob Ransom of Brent and Kilburn Times. Dan, if you want to start with some questions for Dean ahead of Saturday, please.
Yeah, hi Dean. After the Stockport game, how important is it not to get too disheartened? Obviously a very strong team that will probably be hoping to get promoted this season.
I think there's a lot of encouragement from the performance. For 77 minutes, we were very competitive. They're a very good side. They play with real intensity, and they've shown us a standard of the level if you want to get to the top of this division. So it's been a great learning curve for me as a young manager. For us as a football club, our first time in this division for 23 years. And it just shows you where you got to get if you want to get in the top echelons of this division. So I spoke to the players last night in training. I was really proud of our performance. Our running stats are amazing. The work ethic's amazing. And once we keep to that work ethic, we can keep that togetherness and not get too down when we get beat. It's very important mentally, because we don't want to knock confidence. We just got to pick our fights. Like I said yesterday after the other evening after the game, we got to pick our fights. And Stockport's not a fight for us. It was a free game. So it was a great game to watch, to be fair. I thought we played really well. Some of our counter-attacking play and attacking play was excellent. And some of their play, the intensity they play with is superb. So it's a great learning curve for everybody at the football club.
You mentioned about the midweek games when we spoke earlier this season about how tricky they'd be. Obviously, you being part-time and teams being full-time. And I guess that game kind of showed the task of those midweek games against strong sides like Stockport.
Yeah, it's the biggest jump in football for me. From the National League South part-time team to go into the National League and everyone's full-time. That's the biggest jump in football for me. And you've seen that over the years. If you look at Boreham Wood, they're a great example of it. They went up, they stayed up by the skin of their teeth, they stayed part-time, then they changed to a hybrid system. They're a great example of how it can work. So look, I don't know if our football club will ever be able to do that, but that's really what it takes at this level. So we've just got to not create crazy expectations, and we've got to make sure we stay focused on what we're looking to achieve this season.
Was there any injuries suffered in the game, and what's the sort of team news ahead of Wrexham on Saturday?
No, everyone's cool. Dennon Lewis managed to train last night. The only person that'll be missing is Connor Stevens. He's still out, so it's frustrating. That's where you need the squad and someone else to get an opportunity.
Yeah, obviously you mentioned Connor Stevens still being out there. I mean, he's quite a big miss, isn't he? Because he was quite ever present at the back for your team last season and played a big part in getting promoted.
Yeah, huge player for us. And it's one of the key positions I always found in recruitment. This is my 9th year of management. In recruitment, centre-halves are the hardest to recruit. You can get centre-forwards, you can get midfielders, but good top centre-halves, which I feel Connor is. I think he's a strong player for this level. He hasn't kicked the ball for us yet, and you've sort of seen that. You can see the 8 goals in 3 games, so that's not ideal. So the sooner Connor's back, the better.
So obviously Wrexham up next. What kind of challenge are you expecting from them? A similar one to Stockport? Obviously quite a big club for the level. I'm sure they'll want to be up there, especially with this Hollywood backing that's apparently incoming at the club.
Yeah, I think, look, they're a very technical side. They play a different style to Stockport. They're not as intense as Stockport. Real technical side. Another manager was a technical player himself. Really good, clever player, to be fair. So look, it's one of them games where it'll be a contrast in styles, and how we handle that is going to be very important. The game will be intense, but it won't be as much pressing. To be fair to Wrexham, they've got a lot of natural ability within their squad. They're both fullbacks are very similar to ours. They're very dynamic. They're very quick. They try play through the towards. They try get through midfield. They've got pace in the top line. So they've played 2 formations so far this season: 4-3-3. With 2 8s, and they've played 4-4-2, which they changed to half-time against Maidenhead on the telly on Monday night. So it's definitely a contrast in styles, and we'll see how we get on with the game. Wrexham probably are, because of the size of the club, expected to be in the top 7. So their expectation to ours is different, but these are the challenges we're looking forward to taking on, and I think it'll be a good technical game, this game. So hopefully we can affect the game with our game plan.
The fixture list obviously hasn't been too kind to you at the start of the season. You've had quite a lot of clubs that probably will want to be up there, but how important is it to get the first win on the board early rather than having to wait until sort of later in the season for morale?
I think every point's going to matter. Every goal we concede or score is going to matter, and that's how I look at it. I look at football as very simple. Phases of 15 minutes. I don't look at the full 90 minutes. It can change so quickly. You go to the 75th minute the other day and we're 2-1 up. You go to the 80-odd minute and we're 3-2 down, and that's how quick it can change. So I just look at every phase of play, really. And that's how I sort of said to the players, there's no point in looking and saying, we have to win, we have to do that. So I'll make sure we keep picking up points along the way and try to get to that grand points total we've set. And then we'll have a successful season for our football club.
We spoke about the possibility of some loan signings in the last press conference. Is there any news on those, or will you find out after today?
It's after today, obviously it's the EFL deadline today. So we're just waiting patiently in the wings, and we'll see who we pick up. We do need to strengthen our squad. We need 22 players. You've seen it. It's ticking fast. I think our schedule now is Saturday, Tuesday. So, we need 22 players. I think that's very important.
Is there any news of any other incomings, or will they be the only ones now where you look to the loan market rather than permanently?
We've no money for permanent. We've had to obviously let go members of staff and stuff like that. So we've no money for permanent. Anything we do now has to be free transfers, in the sense of loan transfers. But the trade-off of that, when you do a loan with a professional football club, they put penalty clauses in, which is very frustrating because a young 20-year-old lad can't come in and play every game. So if a young 20-year-old lad average at a Premier League Cat 1 club is on £2,000 a week, 1,500 quid a week, they expect you to pay a certain amount of that if you don't play. So we don't have the money to do that. So we're going to really call on favours in the loan market. Yeah,
we spoke about sort of interest in the squad as well. Last time you said there wasn't any interest in you. Looked like you were going to keep everyone together. Is that still the case?
No one's inquired for any of our players. Nobody whatsoever. So, I don't know what that tells you. I think we have got good players. Well, I know we have good players. I know we have good players. And I know a lot of them can do really well at the level. I just think the financial climate for football clubs, especially league football clubs, League 1 and League 2, they're hemorrhaging money. They've got no supporters. They've got no match day takings. I think I see Richard Cowling the other day on Sky Sports News. It come up they were going to lose 1.25 million. That's the Colchester chairman. So, that's hemorrhaging money for a club like Colchester. So it's really, really tough climate out there for all football clubs.
Do you think that's possibly why there's not been as much interest in your players as maybe you thought there might be, or as well as other non-league clubs because of the current financial situations? Obviously, we've seen quite a lot of non-league players go to EFL clubs in recent windows and do quite well.
Yeah, unless they're free transfers, I don't think any football club's going to invest in a non-league or for a long time in a non-league club. Unless they've got a rich benefactor who's going to come in and give them a load of money. So, you might get 5% of clubs that can do that, but the rest of the league clubs, especially League 1 and League 2, are in dire positions. And
just finally, obviously the FA Cup draw as well this week. What did you make of that, and are you looking forward to the competition this season?
Yeah, it's great competition. Obviously, we wish we could have our supporters there to back us, but what a draw, to be fair. Two of my best friends managed there. Peter Holmes, I've known Pete since I'm 17. We lived together for 2 years and we played for Luton. So one of my great pals. And Yuzi, the manager, Paul Yu, was a great friend of mine as well. I've known him 20 years too. So, we've sent players to them over the years and we've had friendlies with them. So it's going to be an interesting task. You're going up against some really close friends. But it's a good. The draw for us is a good draw because we're at home. No matter who we got, it's important we were at home. So we'll see how it goes. There's a lot of personal stuff going to ride on that game.
Brilliant. Thanks, Dan. Jacob, do you have some questions for Dean?
Yeah, of course. Dean, obviously going back to Connor Stevens quickly, what's the sort of nature of his injury and how far away do you sort of expect him to be before he comes back?
Well, we had him on a bench last week. We were hoping that he'd be able to feature in the game, and he felt it a little bit. He's got bone bruising to the side of his knee, which is a real tricky one, So he's been committed. He's been in every day at the Optimus Sports Centre with Gary Anderson. He was in last Sunday. He was in Monday. He's been in all week. So he's doing everything he can. He's really committed to getting back fit. I suppose he's frustrated as well. He wants to play. He wasn't fit to be involved on Tuesday, and he's not fit to be involved this week. So bone bruising is a real tricky one, So the minute this goes, the better. The sooner it goes, the better, because we need Connor back. He's a key player for us.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, I know we've spoke about it a lot so far this season. Obviously, we're being part-time against all these full-time clubs. Obviously, understandable because of the club and no money coming in. But I suppose as a manager, it can be seen as quite frustrating at times, looking at other clubs and what they can do.
Not really, I know my role. I know what the situation the football club's in. So we just move on, roll on to the next game, and it could be one of them seasons where, you know, we've had such a difficult start fixture-wise. And I think the full-time teams do have a major advantage over the part-time teams because you get more contact time and, you know, they have a bit more stamina is probably the word. If you look at the games, it's more about stamina. But full credit to Stockport, I thought they asked so many questions of us constantly throughout the 90 minutes. You know, I thought they were excellent. I really did. And I said that to the manager after the game with a good chat after. I thought, you know, whoever gets more points than them will have a very successful season. And, you know, if you look at the subs they made, they brought that on a left wing back who set up the equaliser, a left back, sorry, who set up the equaliser, top player. They've got really, really good players. They had game changers. And we made substitutions and they went the opposite way for us. I'm not scapegoating any of the players, but it just shows you the strength and depth they have in their squad, which is going to be vital for them in them looking for success this year. But we have to make sure we create strength and depth in their squad, and when we make subs, they make major impacts, like we did down in Yeovil. You know, we made good subs as well against Dagenham. People like Ross had some great opportunities. Slewey, a great opportunity down at Dagenham, where we should have got an equaliser. So even though I'm not too disappointed with the other night, because I'm very proud of our work ethic and our running stats, like I say, Joe, were absolutely unbelievable. So it's probably the best running stats we've ever had. I put that probably down to Stockport being so intense and us trying to stay with them. I was really proud of our performance. And I know once we keep working hard, the results will come.
And obviously, I know you touched on it briefly with Dan before, the loan market. How important do you think it is to get one or two in to, like you say, add that strength and depth and give you perhaps that bit more stamina where they're full-time players?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a key time for us. It's going to be huge. How we recruit is always important. Can we recruit and make the team a bit more dynamic? I think that's going to be very important for us. So there's some questions going to be answered over the next few. Let's hopefully get a bit of luck in the market.
And obviously, I know you touched on Boreham Wood coming up, and like you say, being a club to sort of aspire to. I suppose as a manager, you're probably hoping that ambition can come from the club in the coming years.
Oh, I think it's going to be difficult. I have to be honest. You know, great relationship with the chairman, Rory, and Dom, and the board, and Nick. You know, Andy Lav and people like that. I've got a really strong relationship with them. It's going to be so difficult for a football club to do that. We have to grow in so many aspects off the pitch. So we just have to know where we're at, and we have to respect that. You know, I'm not going to cripple this football club by demanding, you know, 15 grand a week wage bills. We have what we have. We're in the position we are. We're a platform for players to go back into the football league. That's basically what we are. So that's a selling point to getting players in. This is a platform for you to get yourselves moves into the football league, and that's what we have to respect what we are. So yeah, we'll just continue to go 1 week at a time, because a week in football is a long time. So, you know, like I say, I'll just continue to do my job and make sure that the players keep working their socks off for each other and for the football club, which I'm proud they're doing so far.
And like you said, they're a platform to get players back in the football league. I suppose that shows by your sort of recruitment, a lot of younger lads coming in and probably looking to go down that route.
Yeah, I think, look, if you're a young journalist, you know, you're looking for an opportunity, aren't you? You know, if you're a seasoned journalist, you're going to want to be paid like a seasoned journalist. So we haven't got season money to sign seasoned players. I think the average age of their team today is about 28, 29. I looked at our group with a lot of 22-year-olds in the team. So, you know, that's where we're at. We're an opportunity. And like the opportunity I was given after I had a poor season as a manager a couple of years ago, Rory gave me an opportunity. Do you know what I mean? As a younger manager, I'm still only 40. So obviously that backing has come to fruition and we managed to get promoted. So we have to just understand where we're at as a football club. And, you know, we've got some really good young players and they'll have to learn quick on the job. And it's my job to make sure that we pick up results, really, because it is results-based. And we don't want to continue to lose in frustrating manners. But once we keep working hard, that's the key. Work hard, stick together, keep playing the way we play, results will come.
And obviously in terms of the FA Cup tie, I know you've touched on it already, coming up against some friends. Probably not thinking about it too much yet, though, with a couple more league matches, but it'd probably be a nice break from the league and a special competition to always be involved in.
I just think it's a great competition, you know, unbelievable competition over the years. I've had really good success in it. So, and it's going to be a tough tie because you need to look in the cup. You really do. I've been involved in some games where we've been absolutely brilliant performances and lost 1-0 where their goalie's man of the match. So, or you have a sending off or anything can happen in the cup. So we're looking forward to the game, but our main focus is tomorrow. Our main focus has to be on Wrexham and how we penetrate our game plan. like I said, a very technical side. So, and they've got a lot of dynamicness in the fullback area. It's very similar to us in that way. So we've got to make sure we're in their face and we're working harder than them. And we earn the right to win the football match.